My name is Joe and I'm a flight instructor. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it's not, welcome back to the channel. You see this QR code right here? That's to the CFI Help Desk. That's something I started here on this channel. It's run by me and it is completely free for you. So if there's something you're struggling with in your training and you want to have a quick 15-minute chat, use that QR code. There's also a link down in the description that takes you to the same place, takes you right to my Google Calendar. Fill out the information and we will have a chat. We'll go over whatever your question is to help you get to the answer, to kind of help you move forward and understand what it is that your question's about. Today's video is a little bit different. I originally shot a video with someone that used the help desk. They had a fear of power on stalls, but out of respect for them, we're not going to publish that video. They changed their mind about it. They didn't want the video published on the channel. I completely understand that. I respect it. So that video will not be shown, but instead I'm going to talk about what the issue was, and I'm going to give the same advice that I gave to that individual, so that way other people out there can still get the information to kind of help them, because I think it was a really great conversation that we had. Again, unfortunately, I'm not going to show the conversation with that individual at their own request, and I respect that, even though I know there's channels out there that would still publish. I'm not one of those channels. If you ask me to not publish a chat that we have, I'm not going to publish that chat. I'll come on and I'll do something like this where I won't expose you or anything like that, but if there's things in there that can be helpful to someone else, I will make a video kind of reflecting on that chat, just like I'm doing here today. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it. All right, so this individual came to me because they're a student pilot and they have a fear around the power on stall. And they were asking for advice on basically how to move past that, how to get more confident and comfortable with the maneuver. So I'm going to give you the same tips and the same conversation kind of that we had. So one of the first things I said is, I don't take credit for these methods. I give the credit to Jason Miller of the Finer Points. I teach the power on stalls pretty close to the same way that he teaches them. And I teach them now because I learned from him in his videos on how he does it and realized that it's a better way than most flight schools will teach the power on stall initially to someone that might be fearful of the maneuver. So with that said, I take a step back before that. A lot of people have issue with the rudder and kind of holding it so that way everything is coordinated for the maneuver, and then they end up dipping a wing, or they dip a wing real hard because they don't have the proper rudder inputs into it. So what I recommended to this individual is to go out there and fly around and fly a pattern, fly clearing turns, whatever, in straight and level flight using the rudder only. That's going to get you used to the rudder and the inputs and the effect that how much of a rudder input you put in does to the airplane. After that, we move into pretty much what Jason teaches. And he doesn't just go into the full hard pitch up to stall it. He basically puts you in an upward climb, an upward pitch, and you're treating it like you're going to climb up and over a mountain. And you're just not going to make it, and you're going to end up stalling the airplane. So that's what I recommended to this person. To kind of help with that, though, is pull the power back to about 50%. You don't need to be full power in for this for the first few, because again, if you have a fearful student, you want to make this an easy maneuver on them, kind of step them into it, so that way it's not something that they're going to live their whole lives in fear of. So just get that nice 15-degree pitch, going up over the mountain, set it at 50%, wait till that airspeed starts getting down real low, and then, we got to get over that mountain. Give a little yank back, pick that nose up even higher to hit that critical angle of attack, and it's going to stall. And it's not going to be as hard of a stall as if you were in full power and you were just sitting there, I don't know, 25% degree or 25 degree pitch up into the air. So it's going to be a less violent drop. And if you fly a Piper all the time, you're not really going to know what I'm talking about. The Cessnas, the high-wing Cessnas, they have really aggressive nose drops when you stall them. The Pipers really don't, at least from what I've flown and from what I've found. So this is more along the lines of those of you flying the high-wing Cessnas. So kind of, again, just take it up that hill gradually at like 50% power. When you start losing your speed, you start getting close, pull back a little bit more, and then let the stall happen. It's a nice, easy, comfortable stall in a power-on setting to get them used to this maneuver. Now, once you get past that, then you can start teaching them the way that they're going to have to do it in the check ride, to where you're down to rotate speed, you're going to go power because you're taking off, and you're going to pitch up, and then you're going to let the nose drop. But still, you got to have the rudder authority to be able to keep the plane coordinated so you don't get a hard wing dip and start the incipient stage of the spin. So another way that Jason uses, and I've personally tried this and love it, is he uses what he calls, what is it, the Lindbergh method or something like that. I forget. You'd have to talk to Jason. Maybe he'll see this and he'll correct me. I forget the proper terminology that he uses. But basically, in the Cessna, I think you're going to have it on the Piper too. It's been a while since I've flown a Piper. But in front of the door jamb, up to the dash, you'll have a little piece of glass window down here on the side that you can see out the airplane with. It's not huge. It's probably about that much, about that wide. Hey, Future Joe here, chiming in real quick. I noticed apparently I had some technical difficulties with the camera during recording, so it cut off a section of the video. So what it cut off, I'm going to explain now, is when you're looking out that window, the setup is everything. You want to make sure you have something that you can run parallel to that is a straight line, whether it's a farm field, a power line, or even a road. You're going to want to put it in that little window on the side, and you're going to want to run parallel to that. You're going to want to watch that straight line. We'll just call it a road here because that's typically how I set up and run it. Is you're going to keep that in your window the entire time you're flying. So when you do lose sight of the horizon, you can then switch your vision over out that window to look at that road. And you're going to want that road to stay in the same spot on that window for the entire time. So that's what was cut off. So let's get back to the main video. So again, with this power on stall, we're going to be using this little window that you can see the ground in out the side of the airplane. So what you want to do is everything is in the setup of this. You want to set up like a road or power lines or farm fields, something straight that you can kind of put there. So the second you get into your power on stall configuration, you pitch that airplane up. What you want to do is you want to shift your eyes once you lose sight of the horizon to that little window. Stop staring at the ball. I know a lot of people say, pick something out on the horizon. Well, if the nose is high enough, you can't see the horizon. You don't want to pick a cloud because, well, they're moving. So you want to have something. A lot of instructors will tell you, oh, well, just watch the ball. Watch the turn coordinator. You can, but it's not going to give you the feedback that you need to avoid a wing drop in this maneuver. So again, you want to get yourself set up. You want to see the side, that road, whether a field, whatever it is. You want to have a straight line out that window. You want to watch that straight line out your window. If it's moving around, up, down, side to side, however it is, however it's showing in that window, you know that the airplane at that point is yawing. We don't want to have that yawing effect because that yawing effect is what's going to make that wing drop and potentially put you in the incipient stage of a spin. So you want to use your rudders gently, your just constant little corrections to get that road or whatever it is there out that little window to just stay right where it is. You can even take a dry erase pen if you want, and as you get into this maneuver, draw a line on where it should be. Like once you get into your configuration, you're pitched up, before you even really start slowing down, you can look out that window and you'll see where it is. You could take a dry erase pen and draw the line right where it's supposed to be, and then do everything you can using the rudders to keep those lined up, to keep them matching, running parallel to where they're supposed to be. And again, if it's moving, that means you're yawing, you're going to drop a wing. If you're holding that steady, just the nose is going to drop. You're not going to drop a wing very hard, if at all. Because again, the wing is going to drop if you're uncoordinated. Well, if that's staying where it's supposed to be, you're coordinated, that wing's not going to drop. You're not going to get yourself into the incipient stage of the spin. So I hope this tip kind of helps you get over that fear if you do have that fear of the power on stall, because again, it's all in the setup. As long as you do the setup correctly and you find something on that road or on the ground, I mean, whether it's a road, a power line, a farm field, something to kind of put in that window to focus on once you're pitched up and you lost sight of your horizon, to kind of keep in line there, you're going to be okay with this maneuver. It becomes a very easy maneuver to do. So let me know in the comments section if this video and this tip helped you or not, and let me know of anything else you've been taught to kind of help people get past the fear of the power on stalls. So again, that's all I have for this one. So if you enjoyed this video, check out this other one on the screen, and I'll see you next time.